tell a story about Brer Rabbit today. I love the Brer Rabbit stories. I can remember my mama telling them to me. She'd read them to me and we'd be sitting on the couch and we would just laugh and laugh. And I tell them now to my grandchildren. And one time one of my grandchildren looked up at me and she said, "Granny, was Brer Rabbit bad?" And I said, "No, Brer Rabbit wasn't bad. He was just mischievous, like your daddy." And she knew exactly what I mean, because her daddy loves to play tricks on everybody. And most of the time, he is the one laughing at the end. Now, this story is about Brer Rabbit and the well. And at this time, the animals in the community were getting along pretty well. We had Brer Fox, Brer Bear, Brer Turtle even, Brer Mink. Oh, I know I'm leaving out some of them, but they were all working well together because they wanted to make a corn patch. And you know who? I bet Brer Coon was there. Brer Coon gets into my corn patch all the time until I can't even grow one. But at any rate, he was helping on this. And they had to clear it, and that was hard work. And it was hot. Brer Rabbit was getting hot. But he didn't want to let on about it because he didn't want the animals to call him lazy. So he just kept gathering up that trash and stacking it to the side. Gathering up the trash, stacking it to the side. And pretty soon, he hollered out, "Oh, I have a briar in my paw. I've got to go take care of it." And he hopped off into the woods. Now, we know he was hunting for a cool place to rest. And he hopped on in the woods, and he saw something. It was a well. It was a well, and it was in a tree-covered area. Oh, it was nice and cool there. And there was a bucket at the top of that well. And Brer Rabbit said, "That is just the place for me. I'm going to get in that bucket, and it'll be so cool and dark, and nobody will see me." So he jumped into that bucket. Well, you know what happened when he jumped in that bucket? Down, 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 that bucket went. Brer Rabbit was scared to death. He just was still as stone in that bucket. He knew where he had come from, but he did not know where he was going. And he did not know what moment must be his last. Well, directly, that bucket hit the water. And you know Brer Rabbit just stood there, scared stiff. Well, as always, Brer Fox was keeping an eye on Brer Rabbit. And he saw him hopping off into the woods. And he said, "That Brer Rabbit is up to something, and I'm going to find out what it is." So, he sneaked into the woods. And y'all, he saw Brer Rabbit get into that bucket. And he said, "Oh, I bet Brer Rabbit's got money down there. Or maybe he's found a gold mine, and I'm going to find out where." And so he sneaked closer to the well, and he listened. But he didn't hear anything. He sneaked a little closer, and he listened. Still didn't hear anything. Now, we know the reason he didn't hear a thing is because Brer Rabbit was just frozen with fear. He was so afraid that that bucket was going to tip over and spill him out, and he couldn't swim. Well, Brer Fox got closer to the well, and he hollered down in there, "What you doing, Brer Rabbit?" Brer Rabbit looked up and he said, "Who, me? Oh, well, Brer Fox, I'm fishing. I had it in my mind that I was gonna make a big old fish fry for all the animals that are clearing the corn patch. I'm fishing for suckers. Brer Fox, won't you come and help me? Brer Fox said, well, are there many down there? And Brer Rabbit said, oh, yeah! Brer Fox, there are tons of them. I can't even get them all. Come on down here and help me get them. And Brer Fox said, well, how do I get down there, Brer Rabbit? Brer Rabbit said, oh, it's easy. Brer Fox, just jump in that bucket. Just jump in that bucket. It'll bring you down. Well, Brer Rabbit was talking so sweetly and so nice, and so Brer Fox just jumped in the bucket. We know what happened. When Brer Fox jumped in that bucket began to go down. And as Brer Fox's bucket went down, Brer Rabbit's bucket went up. And when they passed each other, Brer Rabbit said, goodbye, Brer Fox. Take care of your clothes. That's the way the world goes. Some go up and some go down. You'll get to the bottom safe and sound. Oh, don't you know, when Brer Rabbit got to the top of that well, he jumped out of that bucket as quick as he could and hopped lickety-split back to his briar patch. And folks could hear him laughing and laughing and laughing. Brer Fox, still in the bottom of the well. But he did scuffle and scramble, and he finally did get out. Whew! When he got out, he was so glad to be on firm ground. And then he walked on to his home. But on the way, he began to think of how he was going to get Brer Rabbit back. And y'all, he might just do it. And you can check out the Brer Rabbit stories at the library and find out if Brer Fox did get Brer Rabbit back. I expect he did. Then that's the story of Brer Rabbit and the well. Thank you for listening.